Hello, namaste. This is Hariharan Iyer, the entertainer, and I welcome you to yet another book review on my YouTube channel. And this time I want to talk to you about an absolutely fascinating book, a 500 pages magnum opus. And it is one of the finest books you'll ever read on political leadership. And what is it called? It's called How Prime Ministers Decide by the veteran journalist Neerja Chowdhury. Well, this 500 pages magnum opus, it took me weeks to read it. And I was so excited reading it, and I wanted to read it fast. I'm typically a bit of a slow reader. I take my own time to read, but I really try to keep up pace as much as possible. It's an extremely well-written book. It is so much of detail. It has so much of details, and it's like a post-independence India record for you. If you do not haven't read much about what happened post-independence in India, this is an absolutely amazing book which captures in its own way the history of post-independence India. How prime ministers decide is a fascinating account of how that one person took decisions which impacted the whole country, the lives of millions of people in our country based on the decisions taken by that one person who is at the helm of affairs in a parliamentary democracy. Neerja Chowdhury, a veteran journalist, she traces the decision making of prime ministers right from Indira Gandhi. So she has covered those prime ministers uh, whom she has kind of observed, and she's been a journalist in those period. So she talks about, and she gives a very fascinating account about how Indira Gandhi took her decisions, followed by what happened during the Janata Party regime. Then, of course, Rajiv Gandhi, VP Singh, Narasimha Rao, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and Manmohan Singh. She's just got a little note about the current Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because she has covered prime ministers who are not incumbent, who are already finished their term, and Modi ji is an incumbent prime minister. So politics at any given point of time is extremely tricky. We all know that. But political leadership is one of the most difficult and complex forms of leadership that you can ever experience in your life. And ordinary people like us would not even think about getting into politics, but our lives are highly impacted by the political ambience, by the political decisions, and by politicians. Whether you typically have a liking towards politicians or you don't have a liking towards politicians, it doesn't matter. What really matters is the impact is always there on our lives based on the decisions taken by people who matter in politics. And who matters more in a political setup, in a parliamentary democracy, than the prime minister himself or herself? So why Indira Gandhi declared the emergency? Why did she lift the emergency? What happened with the India-Pakistan war in 1971? Why she had to liberate Bangladesh? Uh, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, why did he go for the Pokhran nuclear testing? How did Narasimha Rao manage the contradictions in a coalition government? What did Rajiv Gandhi do in his regime? How did Manmohan Singh sign a nuclear energy deal with the United States? All these aspects are covered in this book. Politics is about, dealing with so many different factors and forces that come together. And decision making becomes even more complex if you are leading coalition governments. So if you see, Rajiv Gandhi had a full majority in 1984. And after that, we had a series of coalition governments right up to 2014 when Mr. Narendra Modi came to power with an absolute majority, and he repeated it in 2019. India is a very complex country, very diverse. lots of cultural contradictions, lots of political forces who are trying to get to power at various levels, at local levels, regional levels, state levels, at the national level. How does a prime minister manage all this and take some crucial decisions, which he or she is called upon to do during his or her tenure, is what this book talks about. It's very, very fascinating. And at any given point of time, you might think leadership is complex. Leadership in the corporate level is complex. Even within families, it can get a little complicated because today's children are of a slightly different, they have a different outlook towards life as compared to, say, when we were growing up. So there is an element of parental leadership which has come into the picture today. But when you put it all together on one side and you look at political leadership on the other side, political leadership is a completely different ballgame. Completely different ball. I learned so much about what is good and bad about leadership by reading this book by Neerja Chowdhury. It's one of the classics that you can ever come across. It's a highly recommended book, extremely well written. One great thing about great journalists is they write really well. And I'm an ex-journalist, and I'm always fascinated by the kind of quality work that quality journalists do and the kind of writing they uh, uh, do and the kind of language that they bring alive for us to absorb and live the drama that they're trying to create through their pages. An absolutely must read book, How Prime Ministers Decide, by Neerja Chowdhury, a veteran journalist. You will find the link in the description. Please to pick up your copy from the link that I've given and read the book and get a wonderful perspective about Indian culture, society, history, politics through this 500 pages magnum opus. I hope you are enjoying my series of book reviews on my YouTube channel. Please do watch them and hope to see you become an even more avid reader. And I do look forward to your comments. And please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Till we meet again, God bless you and do take good care of yourself. Thank you very much.